Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Doklam, Zhoglam, Droklam, Donglang, is a narrow plateau lying in the tri-junction of Bhutan, China and India. It is a disputed territory claimed by both Bhutan and China. It is situated roughly 15 kilometers from the Nathu pass that separates India and China. Doklam is part of the Chumbi Valley that lies primarily in Tibet. Doka is a pass connecting the Indian state of Sikkim with Tibet in China. China and Bhutan have agreed via written agreements of 1988 and 1998 that both countries will agree to maintain peace and the status quo in the region. In 2017, China attempted to build a road in a sector of Doklam, triggering a standoff between China and India, and a demarche against China from Bhutan. 2017 Doklam crisis. In June 2017, Doklam became the site of a standoff between the armed forces of India and China, following an attempt by China to construct a road from Yedong to Doklam. Unlike China and Bhutan, India does not have a claim on Doklam. However, India supports Bhutan's claim on the territory. Official sources have said China is believed to have not taken kindly to India building many new bunkers, and upgrading older ones along the border in Sikkim in the recent past, to augment its defenses against the People's Liberation Army, in retaliation of India's prevention of road construction by China in the disputed area. Also claimed by China, the Chinese road-building crew destroyed an Indian Army bunker in late June. In a 1949 treaty, Bhutan agreed to let India guide its foreign policy and defense affairs. In 2007, the treaty was superseded by a new friendship treaty that replaced the provision that made it mandatory for Bhutan to take India's guidance on foreign policy with broader sovereignty and not require Bhutan to obtain India's permission over arms imports. Article 2 of the 2007 Friendship Treaty, signed by India and Bhutan in 2007, states, in keeping with the abiding ties of close friendship and cooperation between Bhutan and India, the government of the Kingdom of Bhutan and the government of the Republic of India shall cooperate closely with each other on issues relating to their national interests. Former Foreign Secretary and Ambassador of India to China, Nirupama Rao, said about the dispute, Bhutan and India enjoy the closest relationship of mutual trust and confidence and enduring friendship. There is absolutely no controversy about military-to-military cooperation and understanding between our two countries. India holds Bhutanese sovereignty as sacred and inviolable. India and Bhutan voluntarily still maintain very strong comprehensive ties, parts of which are focused at mutually countering aggression from China. Bhutan has no diplomatic ties with China. Bhutan formally protested against China's incursion into its territory, and sought India's help under the Friendship Treaty against Chinese incursion near the disputed area inside Bhutan. India maintains an Indian military training team and Indian Army Corps of Engineers. Border Roads Organization has built over 15 roads, airports, helipads, etc. for Bhutan's defense and transport. Ambassador of Bhutan to India Vetsop Namgyal stated, Doklam is a disputed territory, and Bhutan has a written agreement with China that pending the final resolution of the boundary issue, peace and tranquility should be maintained in the area. China has violated this peace agreement by trying to construct roads in Doklam. India has criticized China for crossing the border and attempting to construct a road, while China has criticized India for entering its territory. On June 29, 2017, Bhutan protested to China against the construction of a road in the disputed territory. On the same day, the Bhutanese border was put on high alert, and border security was tightened as a result of the growing tensions. On the same day, China released a map claiming that Doklam and parts of Sikkim belong to China. China claimed, via the map, that territory up until Gitmochi belonged to China and claimed it was supported by the 1890 Britain-China Treaty. On July 3, 2017, China told India that former Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru accepted the 1890 Britain-China Treaty. China claimed on July 5, 2017 it had for the past 24 months a basic consensus with Bhutan that Doklam belonged to China, and there was no dispute between the two countries. Contrary to Chinese claim, Nehru's 26 September 1959 letter to Zhou, cited by China, was a point-by-point refutation of the claims made by the latter on September 8, 1959. Nehru made as amply clear in his refutal that the 1890 treaty defined only the northern part of the Sikkim-Tibet border and not the tri-junction area. Nehru wrote, "Rectification of errors in Chinese maps regarding the boundary of Bhutan with Tibet is therefore a matter which has to be discussed along with the boundary of India with the Tibet region of China in the same sector." The Chinese had quoted Nehru's statement out of context, as Nehru in his reply had made it clear boundaries of Sikkim and Bhutan did not fall within the scope of the discussion. This convention of 1890 also defined the boundary between Sikkim and Tibet, and the boundary was later, in 1895, demarcated. There is thus no dispute regarding the boundary of Sikkim with the Tibet region. Thank you for watching, brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.